Hi everybody. In today's video I'm going to be trying out some new stencils and stamps that were kindly sent to me by a company called PM Artist Studio. So it's Pam, Patricia and Maria are the two ladies that run this company, and they've got some fantastic stencils, and I will be putting the links for all these in the comments beneath, and there's a 10% off deal as well, so if you're interested in finding out a bit more about these, but I'll give them a go and see how I get on with these. I'm going to use the Gelli plate to make my papers today, and I've chosen a colour palette using these nifty little Pantone cards, and I got that idea from an artist called Tara Axford who was in the Gel Printer Summit. So we're going to go for mainly sort of the cool side of the palette, the greens into the sort of warm yellows, and then I'm going to have a pop of pink, which is the opposite colour, and then I'm going to have a dark, usually sort of have a Payne's grey and then a white sort of at either end of the colours. So that's the sort of colour range I'm going to use. So I'll be taking my mixing palette and mixing these up. So I'll film the mixing up of these colours so you can see how I do that as well just now. So for papers, I've got some papers that I've dyed with coffee, and I've got some papers that I've just got paint on them or old book pages. So I'm going to be trying a few different papers. I like this sort of neutral colour. It's quite similar to that colour there, so I'll be using that for the background for some of these papers. And then in the next video, what I'd like to do is show you what I'm going to do with these papers, which will be to make a finished painting. So a lot of you are sort of, okay, I can do the papers, but it's the next bit that I struggle with. So I'd like to show you doing a painting from start to finish in my next video. Okay, so I'll pop these out the road just now, and we'll get my Gelli plate and paints ready to go. Okay, so I've got my mixing palette here, which is just a piece of Perspex, and I've taped it onto a bit of board with some white paper underneath. It's getting a bit covered in paint now, so it's hard to see, but I like a bigger space for mixing my colours. So I'm going to start off with this light Pantone. It's quite similar to that one there that I've got the pale olive, but I think it needs to be a bit lighter, maybe a touch of the turquoise on it. So I'm going to start with that one. Then I'm just using titanium white. That's quite a nice opaque white. Probably going to need a fair bit of that. I'll put it in a few places. And some of this. It's a sort of a duck egg blue. So I'll mix up a bit of that. And then I've got this kind of beigey colour. So I think I want some raw umber. Find it. Okay, I've got some burnt umber here, that'll do. Just a kind of browny colour. And then I want some Payne's grey for this one. This one's a bit more yellow ochreish, so I might need some yellow for that. And that's a Naples yellow I've got there. Let me see. Got any? Got some yellow ochre here too. Let's try a bit of that. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one here. Now it's handy to have a piece of paper at the side. You can just sort of test the colours, make sure you're getting what you want. So I think I'm going to mix a bit of white into this green. See how that goes. Oh, the one I forgot was the pink. This is permanent rose and it has got a lot of pigment in it, so you don't need much of it at all. I do love my fluorescent pink, so I'm going to maybe try a bit of that too. So I just want to sort of make this a little bit less saturated, so I'm just going to take a touch, tiny touch of that pink, mix it in. See, it's still a bit too green. I want it to be a bit softer. Try a little bit of this brown. So that's a bit more like it. I think it needs a bit more white though. Okay, so I think that's more the colour I was after. Actually, a bit more white. Okay, so we've got a nice light colour there. Now, so our next colour, we're looking for something a bit warmer over here. So I'm just going to keep those on the palette knife, because if you mix a little bit of this into each other, it becomes more harmonious. So I'm going to start off with that yellow ochre, and it's a bit too harsh. Maybe some of that yellow. Take some of that white. Now, if we look at the colour wheel, what's opposite there is sort of a purpley pinky colour. So if I put a little bit of this pink in, it's going to make it less saturated. So I'll try with this. That's pretty close, I think. I think it needs a little warming up. Maybe a touch more of the pink. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that colour now. So the next one is brand new cards covered in paint already. So this is more of a sort of coffee colour. So I think we're going to need a bit more white here. So I'm going to take a bit of this, it's a burnt umber, into the white. See how that goes. And again, I think it's got quite a lot of warmth, so I'm going to take some of that pink over. It's a wee bit too light, I think. I'll try it. Yeah, a bit too light. So we'll try. So the brownie colour, I think I actually might put a little bit of the green into this one. Bit of the pink. A bit closer now. So you've just got to be patient and just keep going until you get the right shade you want. Yeah, I think that's pretty close. Maybe a touch of white, maybe. Okay, so we've got that one. I think that's pretty close there. Now we want this sort of more of a minty green, that one. I'm going to give my palette knife a little clean for this one. Touch of the yellow. I'm actually going to take a touch of this mixture. Because you're mixing them all into each other, they become more harmonious. We're looking for sort of a duck egg blue here. Pretty close. I think it's a little bit more of that yellow. A little bit less, like a wee bit of the white and another touch of the blue just to brighten it a little bit because it's gone a little bit too saturated. That's better. Okay, so we've got that one, and then we've got our sort of deep blue. So that's what we've got there with the Prussian blue. I don't think we need to do much more to that one. You can just use it as is. What I might do is mix a little bit of that brown into it just to, so it's not straight out the tube. Just warming up a wee bit there. Yeah, so it's got a sort of slight warmth to the blue there. And then we want our pink. We're not going to be using a whole lot of that pink, it's just going to be little pops of it in the finished piece, so I don't really want to saturate that with something else. I want it to be something that's really vibrant, that is going to just give little accents. Okay, so I'm happy with the colours there. Probably could have mixed up a bit more of that. I'm going to run out that pretty quickly, so I'll just do that just now. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting some base colours down first of all that we can work on top of. Okay, so I've got some of this coffee paper. So this is a tool for pressing down on your jelly plate, and I've just covered it with fabric because I didn't like this scratchy noise it made with the plastic. Just going to do that again. Okay, so we've got our first layer down for that one. I'm going to take a ghost print on here. This is just scrap paper. Just going to get a ghost print with that one. It's quite nice. So I often do this. If I've got paint left over on my palette, I'll just create some papers using up the paint that's there, and I know it's going to get used in a future project. So I'm going to try some of this duck egg blue. So this is just inexpensive sketchbook paper, probably about 90 GSM, really not expensive at all. It's quite nice for collaging with. So I'm just trying to fill up the whole page there with a variety of the sort of colours in our palette. And just same with this side here. Some quite interesting things going on there. Okay. Okay, so that's on a couple of sheets ready for the stencils. Try some of this dressmaking paper. So I'm putting the side down that's not shiny for this, so it picks up the paint better. Quite like these creases that have happened. This is just a piece of newsprint to pick up the ghost print there. Quite a nice piece for the background. Okay, so I'm going to try going on here with a slightly contrasting colour. I'm just going to rip that half. That's try the green. So it's the ghost print I'm interested in, so I'm going to take a piece of tissue first of all and pick up this. That'll be nice to layer on top of something. This is quite a light one, so I'm going to try that one first. Just quite a subtle paper. It's quite subtle. Try something a bit stronger. So I'm going to try that on top of the duck egg. Nice. I might get a ghost print from that one, so I'm going to try again with some newsprint. So if you're in a country where your paint dries really quickly, you could have put another layer of paint over that to pull up that bottom layer, but they're working quite quickly. I usually manage to pull it up. It starts to become quite interesting. Okay. I'll try some of these circles next. They're really nice organic shapes, which I enjoy. So I'm going to take this one here. I think we need a few darker backgrounds as well, so I might get some of them. It's nice. Okay, let's do some darker ones. That's lovely. I'm going to go over with this coffee stained piece now. Oh, missed one. Oh, the ghost print was really nice. See the difference there. These are going to make beautiful papers in a finished painting, I think. So you can see that I'm not really cleaning the roller that much in between, and that's meaning I'm getting some mixes as well with the colours. So you don't need to use the whole page either, you can just use bits of it. And it's the overlapping pieces that can be quite interesting. This was just a piece that somebody's been cleaning. Somebody that came to a workshop, and it's colours that I don't often use, so that can create something a bit different. Those two ghost prints together created something quite interesting. Here, some Islamic writing. Just going to take a piece of tissue to try and get all of that paint to come up. On top of that blue there, see what happens. not that successful with that colour, but I think with a darker one it would be more successful. Let's try it with a darker colour. And maybe a thinner layer also. I'm going to use this piece again. It's definitely a clearer image with the darker colour. It's quite light. Try on top of this one. Quite nice. Yeah, I like it there. That was the ghost print on top of that one. See what the white's like on top of the dark area. It's not quite as defined as I was hoping it was going to be, that stencil, but it could just be the paint that I'm using. Try it one more time. I've got a piece of black card here. I just want to see how it prints on there. Still not as defined as I would like to see. This needs a pop of pink somewhere. Just trying it a different way, pressing it like a stamp rather than a stencil. It's quite cool actually. Some more of that pink on top of the peachy colour. So I'm just trying to lift those circle shapes that were the ghost print by putting a piece of layer of white paint on. And that should hopefully lift the 2 layers off the paper. So let it dry really for a few minutes. Mm-hmm. This is the wet strength paper, and it's amazing how many layers you can build up on this stuff. It's just quite an intuitive process. If you've got all your papers lying around you, you can just kind of know which one to grab next and what needs something else. Just that little bit of warmth in that corner. Oh, one lonely little. Okay, so I've got these stamps as well. So what I'm going to do with these, let's maybe try dark colour. Oh, I'm getting in a bit of a burach here, which is not uncommon for me. See what this looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like. Dots and circles, dots and circles. Happiness is... Let me off camera. Just adding more layers, see? They've got so many different designs, this company. So whatever sort of shapes you're drawn to, I'm sure you would find them. There's a mind-boggling selection there. The third one's printing better, I think, the more you do, with a cleaner shape. Let's try some of these with... Need a few more of these while I've got that paint on there. What about my mouldy bathroom wallpaper from last week? Forgot about that. Try and make something out of that. Quite nice. Right, what else we got? Let me try this lettering. Some white. Try it on this darker piece here. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. A bit more white paint, I think. Oh, that's nice. It'd be nice with the metallics, I think, on top. Shimmery. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I prefer the stamp than the stencil. I think it works better. That's pretty cool. And just go straight on. On top of the black. Nice. Nice layers. Just a little tiny pop section of that would be nice in the bigger piece, I think. And then we've got these stamps. I'm going to try them on. Maybe do some pops of pink. Try on. So area over here. Nice. Not so sure about that, to be honest. Don't think it's helped it. You can do that with a print if it's not working. What about this one here? Try one in this area. Oh, that's nice. Yep, like that. Yeah, the stamps are a success, I would say. And one of the other ones I haven't tried are the trees, but I don't think they really go with this project that I'm doing just now, but I think they'll work quite well on a different project. So that should give me enough papers to be going with. So I'm just going to use up this pink paint here, so I haven't got much plain pink backgrounds. So if you've got paint left on your palette, you can just use it up at this point and make some backgrounds. Nice. Okay, so if you've got papers like this at the end and you're thinking, what on earth am I going to do this? This is how you fix it. So you either take a really dark colour or a really light colour to go over it. And you're wanting quite a thick layer. That rescued it somewhat. Same with this one, bit of a disaster. I'm going to go over this one with the dark. It's just sort of toned everything down. We've got some less brighter areas. So I think we've got quite a few papers we can use there. Let's have a look. That one. Quite a good selection to work with here to try and make a finished piece. So these will be getting chopped up and made into a composition. So I'm quite happy with those new stencils and stamps. They're really good. So thank you to PM Studios. And the link will be below if you fancy trying those out yourself. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video where I'll be showing you how I use these stenciled papers in a finished design. Okay everyone, thanks for watching. Bye for now.